Welcome to New Beginnings Start Today, the podcast for people who want to grow deeper in their faith in the Lord. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas Keffer, a minister, clinical pastoral counselor in Roanoke, Virginia, and I have a passion for helping people to live their faith. Today we're going to talk about trust in relationships and how you can grow that trust for those in your life. We are living in a time when being able to trust people in our lives is becoming increasingly difficult. We're seeing the lack of trust on many different fronts. Husbands and wives, parents with their children, children with their parents, siblings, extended family members, friends, neighbors, church family, co-workers, government leaders, news networks, social media, and the list goes on and on. This makes it very difficult to be able to sit down with someone and really allow yourself to be open and vulnerable about what is going on in your life. Pardon me. There is a foundation that King Solomon shares with us that enables us to understand where this kind of trust comes from when he writes, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Having this kind of trust takes work on your part by having a relationship with God so that you are blessed by his loving care. You can then begin to extend that kind of love and trust to others so that they know by your actions that you that you are trustworthy and they can truly trust you. In the many years that I counseled people, I have told them again and again that they can trust what God tells them for one reason: God cannot lie. I believe that with all my life. Growing that kind of trust in one's life allows the spouse to believe that they can trust their spouse with their very life. No matter what happens when a spouse loves in this capacity, they know that what they are told is the truth. I can tell you unequivocally I trust my wife of over 51 years with my life, and she with me. That is true because of the safeguards we put in place while we were just dating. That is not the case with so many that I have talked with, because they have grown so disassociated in their marriage. I think of a pastor's wife that called me from out of state, that was referred to me by her friend. She said, "Dr. Keffer, I believe that my husband, a pastor, is having an affair with a woman in our church." She went on to tell me why, and the three of us entered into counseling. And I thought things were healing in their marriage to find out he still could not stay away from this woman. The wife put a tracking device on his car, and she saw him leave the church one morning, and she wondered, where is he going? She went to her computer and saw that he was several blocks away. She got in her car and went there and saw her husband's car parked beside the woman's car. She walked up to the husband's car, and the other woman was in his car. What went on then was not pretty. I am glad to say that he counseled with me and got things straight and built a trust back with his wife, and they are still together today. I wished I could tell you that this was the outcome of all these kinds of situations. But it is getting harder and harder to have this kind of trust in marriages because so many couples are not growing their lives with each other spiritually. I recently had a wife tell her husband, "You have not shared one scripture with me, or initiated a prayer time with me, or talked about anything that the Lord has done in your life." And that is a wife talking to her husband of over 27 years of marriage. What is wrong with us today? This lack of trust that so many couples have is because couples are not taking the time to build personal relationships with God, and that causes them not to grow with their lives with each other. The same is true when we look at the parent-child relationship or a child-parent relationship. Families are so busy with what the world is demanding of them outside the family circle that there is so little time to connect in any significant way. I remember years ago I was at a conference for ministers, and the speaker said to us, "I sit with so many couples asking them to look at their weekly calendars. I ask them to look for a time that they have set aside to be with each other and their children. They have all the times they are going to be busy at church, taking their children to their sport activities, watching television, enjoying their hobbies, like golfing and tennis and pickleball, hiking, going to the pool, taking a bike ride, and on and on. Then I say, if you don't find any family time, shame on you." And they soon get my message. I heard this minister say this to us, and it was over 30 years ago. And this kind of mindset is even greater today, as technology has created even more distractions that takes up our time in huge chunks. This causes a lack of meaningful communication. And if families are not talking with each other, how can they trust each other when difficult, demanding issues arise that demands truthfulness? It doesn't. And thus, communication becomes meaningless, hurtful, and things are said that are very hurtful, and those words cannot be taken back. I've seen this so many times when a parent will tell their son or daughter that they are going to do something with them. And when the time comes for them to follow through with what they said and what they promised, the parent will make some kind of lame excuse as to why they can't be there for them that makes no sense to the son or daughter at all. This happens again and again, and then the child quits asking. And many times the parents don't even notice that their child or their children are no longer talking to them. The parent becomes so self-absorbed with their world, they just go on with their day. How many of you listening to this has had this happen to you, and how does it make you feel? Send me an email and let me know about your experience and how I could help you. Let's go outside the family setting to the workplace and a lack of real trust with those that you work with and work for. You go to work with the commitment to do the best job that you can do because that is the work ethic that you were taught to have. You soon find that so many of your co-workers do not want to be held accountable for the job that they were hired to do. They just show up and they work harder at not working than if they did their job that would take less energy. I have had so many of my clients over the years talk to me about how unfair they are treated by their co-workers or the people they report to that is in management, that it disheartens them from even believing they could trust those people they work with or work for. Working in this kind of environment is very stressful, and it doesn't make anyone very enthusiastic about their jobs. There is also so little trust among friends anymore. You believe that you can go to your friend and talk to them about situations that have happened to you, and they would listen to you and be supportive. Then you find out that that friend went and talked to another person about what you told them, and before long it comes back to you that the person you had the problem with knows that you went and told your friend about it, and the story that the person you had the trust or the problem with is nothing of what you originally said to your friend. Needless to say, your trust is really broken with your friend that you trusted to not tell anyone. We learn how to really trust in our relationships when we learn to trust God with all of our hearts and know that He will never let us down, no matter what we are facing in life. This allows you to be seen by those around you that we are trustworthy and can come and talk to us about anything that is going on with them. What an honor, being trustworthy. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I want to invite you to contact me and share how you find that trust with your spouse in your marriage and others. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button and the like button, and also click on share, and share it with all your friends. This would be so helpful to me. Tell me about other issues that you would like me to address by leaving your comments, and you can reach me at drdouglaskeffer@gmail.com. Until next time, God bless each of you.